Hi, Mark here from the Tangent-Bound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangent-Bound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangent-Bound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangentBoundNetwork.com and see if Tangent-Bound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurter. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 303.
Sexiest podcast in the network. 303 episodes running.
It's true. Boy, how bad do you feel for whoever had the streak right before we launched episode 1, you know? Just
I know, right?
They were like, man, we're the sexiest podcast on the network. And then we just kicked the door in, swinging our dicks around.
Well, it's true. I mean, it's kind of what we do.
It is.
Brian.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we do.
Kind of, yeah. Oh, man. 303. Whew.
It's very much like this. Sorry, it took me forever to find it, but I can't read, apparently. You know, that's what happens, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. They heard the glass. It was their ass, apparently.
Boom.
Oh, man. Boy, I'll tell you, it's freaking humid as hell in here today.
Well, you know, when you live in the armpit of America that is this sector in the Ohio-Michigan corridor.
Yeah. Yeah,
when it's brutally cold in the winter and then it's hot and humid in the summer.
Or even better when, you know, it's brutally cold at night and brutally hot in the daytime.
Yeah, this is true.
Those are my favorite days. And we're actually, it's so weird. We're kind of, I mean, I know it's, you know, we're in spring. So obviously we're between fall and, or winter and summer. So it's going to be, you know, kind of a mix of the two. But it's just so funny how, like you posted, I saw on Snapchat the other day about how, it was 50 degrees and you were like, it was 90 yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly the day before it was literally 90 degrees. And then the next day at work, I'm wearing my goddamn knit cap again because it's, in the 40s in the morning.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, are you kidding me? I hate this weather.
And I think it only got into the 60s that day. I don't even think it got much hotter than that.
It really didn't.
Yeah, it was.
It really is just terrible.
Yep. Well, that's why my doctor told me, for my sinuses, the best thing he could recommend to me was move.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. He's right though. I mean, a day like today is killing me. In most places, when you get humidity, you get some heat with it, but today, I mean, it wasn't cold today. It was in the 70s today, I think. So it
was pleasant.
Yeah, but humid as hell because we had a bunch of rain move through, and it just hangs in the air. And unfortunately, it's not hot enough. It's not like 85 or something to where you're like, I got to turn the air on. I can't breathe. It's still cool enough that you're like, I really don't want to turn the air on. Because tonight it'll probably be like 50.
Right.
So, yeah.
That rain moving through can suck it, too, because I was out there finally whacking down the Amazon jungle that's my yard.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, dealing with the basement shit last week, I just didn't have a chance to mow, so it was getting there.
Yeah, I bet it was, yeah. Especially because we've had a decent amount of rain.
Oh, yeah, decent amount of rain, decent amount of sun.
Yeah.
And so I got about halfway done, and it was kind of like drizzling. I'm like, whatever. And then it was just like, shaboom! The clouds just, to the point that I'm running around trying to put shit away, and then had to change all the clothes down to the skivvies because I got so wet.
Plus you were out in the rain.
Well, yeah, exactly. It was super exciting. I was just out there like, oh yeah, rain. Oh, it was fucking weird.
I was just thinking that cutting the grass got you all tingly, but well,
oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, I heard it, sitting in my room, and all of a sudden I was like, holy shit, because you just hear the like wind whipping the rain against the house, I was like, geez, all right then, so whatever. So anyway, you're welcome, Neil. There's our weather report.
Yeah. Indeed.
That's the salt.
I can even
weather.
give you currents. It's currently 66 degrees outside in the Temperance, Michigan area. Low of 49. A few clouds and a stray shower and a thunderstorm possible.
What's the humidity right now? Does it say on there?
Nah, not on my little widget. My little weather widget.
Useless. All right. It's got to be pretty high.
Let's see. Let me check. How humid is out there? Humid as motherfucker. Okay. I guess it's humid as a motherfucker, Brian.
Thanks to Tom outside giving us the weather.
Right.
By the way, that was his last name. Outside giving us the weather's his last name.
Oh, naturally.
Yeah.
It's a good name, actually.
It was. All right.
Tis.
So what do we want to do here? You want to start with business, or you want to do the how was your week part first?
I'm always a fan of starting with business, just to kind of get it out of the way.
All right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
People have heard it before, but,
Well, this is true.
If you'd like to help the show out, which, we could use for various things, help keep the lights on and stuff, no big deal. There's a few ways you could help the show out. One is to go to saltylanguage.com. Well, actually, there's a couple on saltylanguage.com. First one is the Patreon link. We've got various rewards on there. Like, you could be a guest on The Enthusiast. You could pick a terrible movie for Tony and I to watch from Netflix, or Hulu, something like that. I forgot what else we have on there.
Well, you can just, the formerly free podcast Garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Which, is available for your enjoyment of garbage.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got this big string of paper that's only working
its way in
my hands.
Making all this noise.
I know, right? Well, because I'm like, what is this? And I grab it and it ended up being a 6-foot-long receipt I'm trying to fold back up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there's different levels of stuff on there, or if you just want to straight out just, pledge the money to the show for, one cycle and then, cancel after that, that helps too. But again, the link is on there, or if you want, go to patreon.com/saltylanguage and you can see it.
Indeed.
Yep. And then of course there's the Amazon link on the website, which is, if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, swing by our website first, click the Amazon banner, and then shop away as normal. It doesn't cost you any extra money, and they chip off a little bit for us. So
just a wee bit.
Yep. And then, of course, you could also help us by, retweeting our show links or just telling people about the show. What am I forgetting?
Yeah, seriously. It's like if you can't help us in that fashion, it would be nice to just, like, subscribe.
There you go.
Review, rate.
Yep.
Share.
Exactly. Like however
finger.
Finger, exactly. That's weird. Sending nudes. Never forget that.
Yeah, always with the nudes.
Right. We'll hit you up later with the places you can send all the nudes to. So, yeah, I think that's all the business. You got any business for this week aside from that?
No, that's about it. I mean, unless we want to thank our new Patreon person.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be doing Instagram shout-outs. We have not done that yet.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to it. But, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So
yeah, thanks to listener Phil, who also has his own podcast. Isn't that right, Brian?
You are correct, sir.
Might as well give him a little bit of a shout-out.
Mm-hmm. The podcast can be found, or you can find their Twitter at ML Beers. So they talk about baseball and fine, delicious beers. So if you enjoy those things, go check his podcast out.
Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for supporting the show too.
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely,
it a lot.
man. Yeah, he's a good guy. So, and we'll be an upcoming guest on The Enthusiast. So
there you go.
So you'll get to hear more about him and his podcast.
Boom.
So
even more sexy, shameless plugs.
That is correct. Well, that's what we do here. It's what we do.
It is what we do here.
So, all right. And that's it for business then, right?
I believe so, Brian. I believe so.
Cool. So, how was your week, sir?
It was all right. I mean, it's weird because it's a Sunday night tonight, breaking some walls. So it feels like it's been forever since we recorded.
It really does. Yeah. It feels like a good, it feels like the time it's been. Like normally, if we record longer than it's been, it's like, it still seems about the same. But man, it feels like it's been like 2 weeks since we recorded.
I know, right? It's weird.
Yeah.
But, we had a Mother's Day weekend. That was all right. I took, the best Mother's Day gift for my wife and just removed the family from the house.
Permanently. No.
Permanently, yep.
Yeah.
We went to Cedar Point, America's roller coast.
Right.
For those who do not know.
No longer the rock and roller coast, just the roller coast.
Just the roller coast.
Yeah.
And it was actually an awesome day for it because the weather was perfect and it was so dead in the park. We pretty much walked on to everything.
Yeah, that's always
which was
awesome.
Phenomenal.
There's nothing better than going to an amusement park and being able to just walk right onto the rides.
It kind of makes you feel like a king a little bit.
It does. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
this is how the upper crust lives.
Yes, that time you and I went with some other people and we got dumped on with rain, but we were like, we'll just wait it out. Cause someone somewhere told us that it was only supposed to last for a short time, but people were just leaving in droves. And as soon as they could get the rides back up and going, they were, we were just like walking right up to them and almost had our choice of seats.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was goddamn beautiful, Brian.
Pretty good.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we had that going for us, which was quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
And God, my fucking eyeballs all crusty and shit. Sorry. Where the hell was I going?
I don't know.
Walking onto the rides. Oh. So I also felt like, which, whatever, but I felt like it was some sort of like mental health type day going on there.
Okay.
Which is fine, right?
Well, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And if you'd like to hear more about that, go listen to the new episode of The Crazy Life, which will be available by the time this episode is released.
Oh, look at that.
Shameless plugging.
Shameless plugging.
Yep, that's actually our topic for the week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But, so there's a lot of, I'm not just trying to point things out, but there's a lot of people you could tell had some mental problems, mental issues, if you will, around the park, which is fine.
Sure.
But I'm getting on this ride and there's this little girl next to me and she comes up the line next to me And she just immediately starts talking to me. Hey, mister. And, she's probably like 8 or 9 or something. She was pretty young.
Which is funny to me because, usually you intimidate people.
Yeah, that is actually kind of odd because that is like a normal thing. That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, I'm just picturing you.
Hey,
little girl, and shaking her hand aggressively.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, so, she just starts talking to me, and I, like you said, I mean, I don't come across as like an asshole much.
Right.
Like, I don't project it, but I also don't project like, hey, come talk to me.
Right.
Yeah. But she just starts flipping a little flapper at me, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then she ends up sitting next to me on a ride, which the ride's called Max Air, and it kind of swings you like a pendulum, and you spin in a circle the same. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
But so we're hanging out on the ride, and she just is immediately like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Maybe she's a Ric Flair fan,
Yeah, my daughter and I, we keep looking at each other like, what the and she just keeps, and we're not even really going yet. Whoa, whoa. And then she just finally goes, I'm sorry, mister. I get really excited on these rides and I got to do my war cry. Whoa, whoa. It was amazing.
I like it. I like it though.
It made the ride just that much better.
Right. Not many little kids have a war cry, so I like that,
No, it was fantastic. Fantastic.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
The old war cry, Brian.
I feel like I'm doing life wrong because I don't even think I have a war cry.
I know, you should really get on that.
I should.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, the only war cry I'd have would be just because I was like referencing Archer. Just yell Rampage. And
Rampage is a pretty strong one, let's be honest.
That's about the only one I would have.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cedar Point experience is good.
Mm-hmm.
Made for a fine Mother's Day.
Awesome.
In theory, except for the part where I get a text from Jeannie and she's like, yeah, I don't have house keys. Like, huh.
You're bumming. Yeah.
So besides that little hang up, it's a good day.
Right. Well, that's not bad.
But
so
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Quite nice. So here, I had that going for me. Oh, I made I can't remember if it's been so long. I'm trying to remember what I talked about, what I didn't talk about.
Yeah.
I don't think I talked about the beef jerky. Did I talk about the beef jerky?
You were in the process of making it last week.
Okay. Well, I made delicious beef jerky, and it was delicious. And it was gone within days because my son is like fucking pig.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really good.
Wonder where he gets his love of meat snacks from.
I know, right? Old meat snacks.
Yeah.
But then I completely failed on a pork roast still.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make it for dinner, so I put a nice dry rub on it, and then it just got derailed. And the guy's dry rub, you gotta have some salt in there,
Right.
Well, days went by before I finally got a chance to cook it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm pretty sure because it came out I smoked it for 6.5 hours or something, and then it came out. I was just like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be falling apart and delicious. No,
wow,
it was tough as fuck.
Oh.
I still carved it up, still ate it, and it was delicious. It had a nice smoke ring. It was all, but it was just not. I'm like, I don't know what happened. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, I think I was salt curing it in the fridge.
That's probably what it was.
Just sucking all the moisture out of that piece of meat.
That's too bad. Yeah. Well,
bummer.
You did mention last week that you're still white belt here. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's going to stop you from getting your yellow tabs this week, though.
For sure.
Or whatever the hell the next step is. I don't remember in karate.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yep, yellow belt.
Was it? Okay, I thought it was. Yep. I couldn't remember. It's been a long time.
It's usually.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that kind of sucked, but whatever. I got meats in the fridge right now. I'm gonna make in the jerky, and I got a lamb roast. I'm gonna make. I basically plan on using this thing year round. So.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
I know, right?
Remember back when you were like, there's this grill I really want. And I'm like, I could really see you using this all the time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Yep. Go figure, huh?
Go figure.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows you knew that, though. I mean, it's not like I was, any real prophet there,
Yeah, right?
So, yeah. I mean, I'll still take my credit, but,
Well, you might as well.
Damn right.
Gold star.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Finally. No more bronze for me.
Right? You get your yellow belt.
Just like holding it up like it's a, WWE championship,
Right? Exactly.
Oh, man. All right. So what else you got?
I don't know. I got all kinds of shit. I had a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying, because like once upon a time, I was like, doctors are for people that aren't me.
Yeah.
Because I hate going to the doctor's office because it gives me so much like anxiety and shit. And it's not because I'm like, oh God, I'm nervous about the doctor. It's more because, in my formative teenage years, I spent a lot of time at hospital and stuff with my dad.
Yeah, certainly.
So it brings all that shit up,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's just something so it'd be like, if it had to do with something in my health, I'd just be like, fuck it. Basically, I'm sure it'll work out. Give me a glass of juice.
I'm sure it'll work out. My shoulders kill me rubbing dirt on it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm, a year ago now, I found a doctor and I'm making regular appointments. Right.
Good. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So I went this time. I really had nothing wrong. She just wanted to check out because, my cholesterol was a little high, but I tried to tell her, well, that's because it's a whole story. I'm not even getting into it.
Right.
But I was like, hey doc, I got this toenail of death,
Right.
And I'm like, I did some over-the-counter stuff, and it kind of helped. But I'm like, we gotta get rid of this thing.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise your foot's going to turn into like in Mr. Deeds. It's going to be like
yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm like, and I read online that they can give like prescriptions that nix the shit. So I'm like, that's what I'm. As much as I don't want to get a prescription, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, she's like, hold on, I'll get the prescription for you, and it's a rag to bite on while she just hacks the toe off.
Belt sander.
Yeah. She comes in a hazmat suit, because you can't be too careful.
Right.
A toe of death could start something. You might be a patient zero.
Exactly. Right. Well, so here's what her prescription was. She's like, well, I could prescribe you because she's like, it's athlete's foot is what it is. It gets in a nail and it like sets up shop and it's like, here I am, bitch.
Right.
But she's like, I could prescribe you, medicine for it, but she's like, it's really bad for your liver.
Good.
It takes a while and it's really expensive.
Awesome. Yeah.
I went, thinking, well, I guess I got toe of death.
Right. Or boom, tough acting, tinactin. Anyway.
Right.
John Madden just crashes it.
But she goes, well, what will work if you're patient and you do it every day is Vicks Vapor Rub.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, it's the menthol that, because you put your shoe on, you put your sock on, and it makes that like jungle nasty environment that the toe of death just enjoys.
Right. Yeah.
Apparently the menthol nixes all that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So she's like, for $5 or $6, you get a couple months supply of Vicks Vapor Rub from the pharmacy.
Well, depending on how much you eat, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is delicious. I mean, it's like an Andes mint.
I just put it right on my toast.
The avocado toast. Fuck
Delicious.
You. Give me that Vicks toast.
I was using sweet potatoes, but all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, so you just slather your toes in it and then throw your socks on, and it feels weird because it's like your toes are all like cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet.
Like you can feel it. It's so bizarre.
And on one hand though, that's got to be kind of nice because, like for me, my feet, because of the skin condition I have, I itch kind of all over the place all the time. So that cooling sensation would probably be great for me for a short time at least.
I'll go get some Vapor Rub, son.
I should. Well, it's funny. I mean, I do have like cooling foot sprays and stuff for that reason, because there's sometimes my feet get hot and itch, and I've gone to the doctor and they're like, yeah, you don't have, you're not like your friend Tony, you actually wash, so it's I kid. But, so it's, there's nothing else there. It's just, so every once in a while I'll just be like, coming out of the shower, spraying my feet off. But
right.
It's weird. It is weird though.
So I'm trying to take care of my toes, right?
Right. Well, that should open your nose up too, right? Don't they tell you for babies to put the Vicks on the feet? That way they don't get it like in their face or eyes or anything.
I don't know. My kids could stick their feet in their mouth because.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't know.
All right.
But so I had that going for me. Then I'm like, Doc, I also got, I got this thing on my finger because years ago, I got a bunch of like metal shavings in my finger.
Awesome.
Right.
Metal. Right.
Metal. And then ever since then, I've had this like fucking thing on my index finger.
Yeah.
My assumption was, because I did pull splinters and stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Was I still got shit in there and it's kind of like calcified around it now.
Yeah. I had a piece of glass in my foot do that. I stepped on some various broken glass. I mean, really tiny pieces. And one of the pieces like was stuck in my foot. And I went to the doctor and they're like, it should grow out. And I'm like, but it hurts like hell in the meantime. They're like, well, it's either that or surgery. Like, we've got to cut it out of there. And I'm like, okay, so I'll wait. And eventually it came out, but God, it took forever.
Yeah, that's what, so I've had this nonsense on my finger and I'm just sick of dealing with it. Because sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
So I'm like, Doc, what can we do about this?
Right.
She looks at it and she's like,
Vicks Vapor Rub.
I told her, I'm like, yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub. I'm like, I got a bunch of metal in there. I got a bunch of it out, but something's still going on here. Well, Brian, it seems that the same time, around the same timeline, I got a bunch of metal shavings in my finger.
Yeah.
I apparently got something else. So she's like, that's a finger wart. Like, really? Because it was all like smooth and shit. It didn't look all witch-like.
Yeah. Witch-like.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So she's like, just do some over-the-counter stuff. She's this is why I like her. She's very much like, I don't want to prescribe you stuff unless I have to, which I appreciate. Yeah. Because that's my thoughts too.
Yep.
So she's like, try over-the-counter stuff. If it doesn't work, come back. We'll just liquid nitrogen the thing off. Mm-hmm. Which I've had that done before.
It's a good time.
Great time.
No, it's not. I have too, yeah.
But so I got this over-the-counter stuff that I was like, you put a drop on, you put a Band-Aid on, because I got to work. I can't just...
Yeah.
And then you take a pumice stone and you...
Or a nice...
I've never seen more vile shit.
Yeah. Right.
And so I got these like special padded Band-Aids on now.
Yeah.
That has medicine in them. They leave on for 2 days and cut it off, and they put a new one on. It's supposed to take care of it within a week or two.
Okay.
Because I read the reviews on Amazon, and people included pictures of the reviews.
Awesome.
And it is some of the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my life. So I can't wait for tomorrow after work to cut this thing off and see what it looks like. I can't wait, Brian.
Stay tuned to Tony's Snapchat for that one.
Fucking gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, apparently I'm just a walking disaster. I had no idea.
Well, I mean, we've been telling you that a while, but I'm glad you finally owned it,
Right?
At least there's that.
At least there's that.
Wow.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because it's essentially what you just told me is you went in there for a death toe and potential metal shavings in your finger, and you walked out of there with your doctor recommending Vicks Vapor Rub and Band-Aids.
Yeah, basically, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that sums it up nicely.
That's like
actually.
it feels on the surface like a step above rub some dirt on it, but I understand it's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah. She just smacks you and she's like, "Stop being a sissy."
A bitch.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
All right. Ugh. Wow.
The eyeballs. Hopefully I got something in my eyes too, make them all crusty. Why not?
Well, quit rubbing the weird finger thing in your eye.
My fucking death appendages.
Yeah. Keep your death appendages out of orifices.
Apparently.
How many times do we have to tell you that, Tony?
I know, right? God damn.
Kids
sucks.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, at least hopefully in not, a short time or whatever, two things that have just been nagging you will be sorted out. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for because,
that kind of shit really sucks. The stuff that it's like every day or every once in a while bugs you, and it's like, you know, a lot of times it's like, it doesn't bug me enough to go to the doctor, but eventually you're like, I've been dealing with this for like 12 years, you know, I should really just sort this out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm convinced the first time I went, she just thought I was trying to get painkillers. Because I went because my hip was killing me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that's right. Was that back with the old wallet transfer?
Yeah, that's all it was I was sitting on my wallet.
Yeah.
You know, and
real quick lesson for anybody. I mean, mostly guys generally this affects. But if you happen to keep your wallet on one side and sit on it a lot, it can cause severe hip pain.
Yeah, I'm a testament to that.
Well, you're not the only one. I think, was it Dev or was it Garrett?
Yeah, Dev had the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, my dad had the same thing. That's why when you told me that, I was like, oh shit, I never thought to mention that because my dad went through that. He had horrible pain on his one side. Someone told him to switch his wallet, the side, and he switched it to the other side. Now, really, what you should do is not carry it in your back pocket when you're going to be sitting.
I front pocket it all the time if I'm sitting.
Yeah, so.
And I'm so used to putting it in my front pocket now, I don't even put it in my back pocket anymore.
So there you go. You know, quick tip for anybody who does that.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway.
Yeah, that sucked. But yeah, so I mean, I'm convinced that's because, you know, I was like, hey, my hip, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, why don't you try this? And then if that doesn't work, then come back. And that's all I can think. I'm like, I'm not here for fucking painkillers.
It's like, go to yoga and see if you can't stretch your pelvic floor out. That'll really help, you know.
Pelvic floor. I mean, I know I look like an animal, but I'm not here for downers.
Maybe. I mean, you know. You're also
prescribing.
You're also not there, not for downers.
This is also true.
Like, well, I could give you pills, but all right. Be like, I wasn't finished.
Oh.
I was going to say, but I'd rather not. Oh.
So I also, I got to bounce this off you, right?
Okay.
There's this little bar that Gene and I started going to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little neighborhood bar that we like. It's around the corner from our bar of choice, Rockies.
Right.
And we went there last weekend. We went there again this weekend, but we went there last weekend. And there's a guy that walked in. He ordered a Labatt, and he had his own Labatt koozie.
Sure.
Like a bottle koozie.
Okay.
Right? So the bartender brings him the bottle. He puts his Labatt in his Labatt koozie. And no joke, just smash, the beer's gone. Boom. Just housed it.
So why put it in a koozie?
Right?
Yeah.
And then he ordered another one. Put it in the koozie, same thing. He left.
So is he like does he work for Labatt? Like he had to make sure that there was, you know, product placement and then he was out there? Or?
I have no idea. He worked for the zoo because he was wearing a zoo shirt, right. A maintenance shirt.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just was, I mean, I get like when you're in hot weather, because we do this down in Key West, everyone has a koozie because you can, plus you have traveler cups on there.
Yeah.
Throw a koozie on your cup, keeps your beer a little bit colder in between bars.
Right.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
When we were there yesterday, same thing. Wasn't this guy? It was a different guy. Had his own koozie. Ordered a Budweiser, put it in a bottle koozie, went over and started playing pool. Now, I mean, like I said, I kind of get it. If you're going to make, like he's doing, playing pool, you want to keep your beer a little bit colder.
Sure.
I don't know who brings their own koozie to the bar. Seems weird, but whatever. But that guy that put it in a koozie and then just took it to the face.
Yeah. That kind of...
I didn't understand at all.
Yeah,
unless that's like his lucky koozie or something.
It must be, yeah. It's like if you're going to just house the beer, why bother, you know?
Why bother?
Because that 0.5 seconds, it's like you're not going to keep it that much colder, you know?
Right, exactly.
That is very
Plus,
weird.
it also kind of was just like, man, this guy's in his late 40s probably. Must have been a rough day at the zoo.
Yeah.
To just be like, boom, beer, I'm out.
Well, either that or he's, you know, got to be home by a certain time or something, you know, so he's, you know, just smashing quick beers or something.
I mean, I know we've said it here a million times, but I drink the beer just to drink the beer for the flavor country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't so much. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've been plenty of places where we've housed, you know, the first beer we've got to. Like I remember at Maumee Bay the one night when you and I were on the way and you're like, I'm probably going to sit down and just house the first beer that they put in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
And you certainly did.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
that guy gets a pass because
Yeah.
I don't know what day he's had, what kind of life he lives.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, I went to a bonfire, and we had a rough day. And I was like, and Jeannie's even said, she's like, I knew you were going to drink because you weren't in a good mood.
Yeah.
And I drank too much, which I haven't done in a long time. I didn't get like sloppy hammered, but I definitely, I fell asleep immediately in the car on the way home.
I missed the text from Jeannie, but she texted me and was like, "It sucks driving home with an asleep Tony."
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, my only response to her would have been, "I don't know. Sometimes when he's awake, he's worse."
Well, this is true, especially depending on the activity level.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. You drive that way with the other person just out. It's nice to have somebody awake in the car with you, I'm sure.
Definitely. Right.
Mm.
Ugh. But yeah, I was just fascinated by that guy though. Carefully put the bottle in his Labatt koozie and then just sculled it.
Yeah.
Bam!
I'm just with you. It's like, even if you knew you were going to house 2 beers that quick, it's like, why bother with the koozie? Just get the beer, put it down. I mean, why bother putting the koozie on and peeling it back off?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just not working smart.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah. Might as well just ask them to put a wet towel around it for you. Like paper towel,
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works nice.
Yeah. Whatever you gotta do. Like, hey, can you bring me that beer in a bucket of ice?
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
And all the things with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the beer sitting in, like, the bottle is in a bucket of ice. I don't mean it like,
Oh, like a fine bottle of champagne.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like pouring the beer over a bottle of ice or a bucket of ice. That would be a terrible idea.
That would be a terrible idea.
Although with some beers, you wouldn't notice the difference.
Also true. Ugh.
Yeah. Is there anything else, or that's a?
Let's shift gears. What do you got? Because I still got some more stuff I can talk about.
Oh no, it didn't matter. I'm just asking, just to, so there's no dead spots.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Well, this past week, you and I went and got me a new bed.
We did.
Went and picked that up. That was fantastic. Actually, right. I mean, that wasn't bad at all. I mean, we got in and out of that place fast. I mean, really, other than having to wait for those goons in front of us with their, we're going to tie stuff down without moving out of the way.
We're going to have 18 different cars. And
yeah.
Because the guy's truck is one of those little short beds. You can barely put anything in. What's the point?
The best part was them stuffing those giant, cushions in the back of that car.
Yeah, right.
I was like, yeah. It was weird. I didn't see him put anything in the trunk. So I don't know if maybe they already had stuff in the trunk or I just missed it. But they were putting
a corpse.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
But anyway, got the bed, got it in here nice and easy, you got to see how god awful my old bed was.
Dude. Well, after we picked up that mattress, all I could think was like, he would have been better off sleeping on the fucking ground.
Yeah. I actually joked that I was going to just throw the mattress out and just sleep on the box springs because it was probably a better sleep.
It probably would have been.
Yeah.
That was kind of insane to me.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Right?
I didn't think about it. I should have taken pictures of it to post, and I forgot.
Well, I mean, who wants to relive that dumb shit,
yeah, it's
right?
true. I did post a picture of the new bed. It's on my Instagram. And, it's been all sorts of nice. I've been waking up. My knees haven't really been hurting. My neck's not been hurting. And my back's been better. So
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's just that stuff, like that's such an improvement because, I joked on, Twitter that, I'm not sure it's a good idea for someone with depression to have a bed as comfortable as mine, cause I don't want to get out of it.
Right.
But, it's funny because it has been easier for me to get out of bed because when I'm waking up, I'm not like, oh God, I ache everywhere. I'm waking up and my joints feel better.
Well,
so,
plus, since they're thicker, you're higher up. So, I mean, you're not like coming up out of bed. I don't know if it's if it's a straight sit down or if you kind of drop.
It's a little bit of it's a little bit of a drop, which is fine. Cause like you said, it's not like having to really push yourself out of, you know.
Exactly. When you already feel like hot death.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, and the bed is so, responsive that, I mean, if I push on it to kind of push myself up, the bed kind of springs me up, because the springs aren't all broke down and horrible. So
I can help you, Brian.
Yeah, it's been nice. I've had a couple nights with really good sleeps on it. And I'm finding for the most part that, excuse me, I may be sleeping similarly, like a couple hours and then wake up, but the next day I'm feeling a little more rested. So, it's such an improvement over where I was, plus I haven't gotten stabbed once by it yet. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No middle of the night knife fights.
No. It was funny when I was, switching the, pillowcases after I got the new bed. I was taking the pillowcases off and I realized there was a tear that was about 3 inches long on one of the pillowcases. And it was one that, I had put down right in that spot basically so that it became my pillow shield,
Wow.
So had to throw a pillowcase away, but it took one for the team.
Well, sometimes you got to make sacrifices.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways,
that's something though.
Yeah. So that was definitely a, big positive side for the week.
Which, by the way, speaking of knife fights, if I have to knife fight your mom so she doesn't give me gas money, I will.
Yeah, I know. I told her ahead of time. I was like, he's not going to take it.
No, of course not.
Just the same as if I was doing that for you. I wouldn't, I'd have been the same way. Been like,
Yeah, like, why? What?
Like, you have to buy me a beer and a water,
Yeah, that's all I really need.
I'm not going to let you forget I bought the water, too. So,
That's fine.
That free water.
That free water was paid for.
Water, yeah.
I mean, after, it was such a thirsty work strapping those mattresses down. We had to go get a beer.
We had to. I mean, we were both so parched after that.
I know, right?
It was ridiculous. So
ridiculous.
I even drank a beer I didn't order for that.
That's true, you did.
But it was still good, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Been different if they had brought me out some horrid beer. Then it would have been like, throwing it in their face.
Yeah.
And I mean overhand threw it in their face. That way I'm smashing the glass on them too.
Oh, definitely.
I don't like, none of this just pitching the liquid on them. I'm making sure they're eating some glass too.
Like, and as she's walking towards you, and when she gets about 7 feet away, just swoosh, pint glass goes flying at her.
What was that for? You know damn well what it was for.
Now clean it up and bring me my beer.
I don't, though. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Did you see what I just did to her? I got another one. Oh, man. But yeah, that was certainly worth it. So,
right.
Like I said, I lucked into, a nicer bed than I should have gotten for that money. So that was also extra nice. And the only the only downside is that right around the time we got it, like the next day, it started getting hot outside and I couldn't leave my window open. So there's that new mattress smell that is kind of still in my room. And I've finally got today to where I could open the windows again. Now, or couldn't earlier, obviously, but so there's still kind of that weird chemical smell in there that I'm sure is probably giving me cancer.
I have a simple solution for you.
I'm not going to set my new mattress on fire.
No. There's no fire involved, but it'll get rid of that mattress smell.
Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yes.
Just slather the bed with it.
I'm thinking like a small hot plate, right? Mm-hmm. And like 4 or 5 strips of bacon. Just cook them off in there.
Oh my God, you're right. What was I thinking?
Yeah, I know. All right.
Damn it.
And then you have a tasty treat for later.
Ooh. Well, I don't know about later. As soon as it's done, I'm probably just going to eat it.
Well, all right. That's fair too.
I'm not going to just leave bacon. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Who does that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, it's still, I could always have more bacon to cook later though.
Also a good point.
In case the smell comes back,
Right. Just in case.
Right. It's not bad now though. It's pretty much gone, but it's, it's still like when you first walk in the room, you definitely smell that. Like you're like, yep, that's that new mattress smell.
Right.
So, yeah. If I had not been sleeping on hot death, I might have, kind of put it in a room with a window open to kind of try to air it out first, but
right.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, you're definitely better off just absorbing that awful new mattress smell.
I'd be better off just spraying that stuff right up my nose and sleeping on the new mattress.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like, this is delicious. Why do I feel so weird? But
doesn't matter. I'm sleeping good.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from that. So tonight we went to Chili's for dinner. Right? What the hell was that? Was that you or was that on my end?
There's it looks like Michael from Danger Entertainment is posting stuff on a Facebook chat that we must be part of.
Oh, okay. He needs to stop that because that's annoying.
Definitely.
Can I disconnect from this? Oh, I can leave it, but that's not really what I want to do. I just want to mute it. Anyway, I don't know how. It's not letting me.
There you go. Hit the little gear, turn off notifications.
I don't see a gear.
Well, at least on mine. I don't.
Awesome. Anyway, because this is riveting. Yeah. So, forgot what I was saying. Oh, anyway, so we're at Chili's tonight. We no more than sit down, get our drinks, and about 3 booths back and on the other side of the row from us, there's a couple people and they have a really small kid.
Right.
This kid.
Like a baby goat?
Banshee. This little kid, every couple minutes was screaming. Like bloody murder screaming. And the dad kept leaning over and was like, shh, shh, shh. The mom just ignored it, just fucking on her phone.
Oh, well, of course. Good parenting.
And I'm just shooting daggers. Not the first couple of times, because, you know, kids are gonna do this shit, whatever. It annoys the shit out of me from minute one, but I also understand kids are going to do this. You know, so.
You know what shuts up screaming babies?
Fire.
Riblets.
Oh.
Just a big basket of riblets.
I guess that's probably the better way to go.
Like it should have been like, Garcon,
yeah,
send that baby a basket of riblets.
Actually, do you know what I was half expecting you to say is, you know, given the distance, you know, winging the pint glass of beer.
That's true. I just got this awful image of my face of a pint glass ricocheting off a toddler's face.
But when I said fire, you had no reaction.
No, because that seems about right.
Okay, just checking.
We already determined that fireworks 51% of the time.
That's right.
And if it doesn't work, keep trying.
Keep trying, yep. So, you know, and most of the time when this happens, you know, after a couple minutes, the kid quits because the parents get the kid distracted or whatever, and that, nope. Probably 20 minutes of this.
Oh my.
And I'm sitting there after a while and I'm just, seriously, just firing daggers at him. And the mom just is staring at her phone the whole time. And the dad every time was just like, shh, 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 like that. Everybody around them is like turning and looking because it's ruining all of our time. So, you know, it's like, ugh.
I also determined last night at the bonfire, because there was a fussy kid, that I suggested to everyone that a good way to calm down a fussy baby is a rear naked choke.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess again, you know, you had an opportunity to use something that works 51% of the time, and you resisted. So, you know,
I know. Well, I went for, everyone kind of looked at me a little funny. I was like, I just went, what? You've never done jujitsu on a baby?
I've heard don't shake a baby. I've never heard don't rear naked choke one though.
Right, I mean, exactly.
Anyway.
Put that baby in omoplata.
The sad part is the kid wouldn't tap because the kid's not going to know that it's, you know.
I can't help if they don't tap.
He's going to break a baby's arm. Oh, that's horrible. Horrible, Tony.
Goddamn baby should have tapped.
Dude, I'll tell you though, I mean, it's one of those times where I have this habit of when shit like this happens, normally after a little bit of it annoying the shit out of me, I tend to just say something and say it loud enough that I know people will hear me. And luckily I had a nice salad in front of me, so I just kept stuffing my face to make sure that I wasn't going to be like, would you shut that thing up? You know,
right.
And I know I'm an asshole about this, but at the same time, it's like, seriously, your kid is screaming. Not like, there was another little girl, like not too far from this one. And she was kind of laughing and stuff kind of loud, but it was like, that's not killing anyone's ears. The other was just this shrill screaming. And what bugged me more was actually that the parents really weren't trying to stop this or maybe take the kid outside for a minute to try to calm the kid down or something. Or
ground and pound.
Yeah. No, Tony, no.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, we're not doing that. Yeah.
You ever double leg take down a baby in a walker?
I don't have to. I just kick them. I mean, anyway, moving on. The worst part to me was when the bill came because they both sat there and they were just whatever, ignoring the kid as the kid just kept screaming. And I'm like, with the bill there, one of them could have taken care of the bill. The other could have removed the kid from the restaurant.
Exactly. Get that shrieking animal out of there.
I was half expecting people to stand up and clap as they were leaving because it was, you could tell it was bugging everybody. Yeah. And you could even see the wait staff walking by and they're kind of looking but they can't, what are they going to do? You can't say anything because if you say something to them, they're probably going to jump on Twitter, bitch to Chili's, and end up getting $15,000 in free food, And that person will probably get fired because, how dare you? Even though realistically their situation was ruining the time for probably a good 20, 25 people.
So you need a busboy that doesn't need the job to go by and just spill hot soup right on the woman on her phone.
Yeah, because again, I'm not blaming the kid. The kid, the little girl was so young that, I don't know that you could truly reason with the shh thing. You know what I mean? It's
right, exactly.
The kid's not gonna get that. Hey, we're in public. You need to shush your face because it's rude.
Right.
So I don't blame the kid at all. It's I blame the adults because, at some point, maybe, like I said, take the kid outside for a minute to try to calm the kid down or something, or distract the kid somehow, like you said, with riblets or something. I don't.
Yeah, fucking riblets, man.
Yeah, I mean, or rear naked. I mean, whatever.
Rear naked. So that's the actual answer. Is mom's on the phone, you get just a piping hot crock of minestrone.
No, Tony, we're at Chili's. There's only one piping hot food that you use there.
You're right. It should be chili.
No, fajitas. They have those sizzling fajita platters going around.
Oh, that's right. They're
cast iron.
Flaming hot fajitas.
Also cast iron. So
just chucked onto her breasts.
Yeah, and face.
And face.
Oh, I was so annoyed though. And again,
chucked right onto her phone hand.
I know part of it is me, any sort of screaming kid drives me absolutely batshit in 0.1 second. So it's
right.
But at the same time, like I said, I was
you would be a terrible kidnapper.
Oh, I'd be awful. Yeah. Just so bad. So yeah, I was
get out of van. I don't even want to listen to you.
Right. I just, oh man, when they finally left though, I was oh, finally. Just, oh man. So anyway,
that sounds brutal.
Yeah. But
I had a completely different experience at a restaurant. Because yesterday, my wife and my daughter were like, we got to get our hairs cut. We got a haircut appointments. Mm-hmm. Go get their hair done. No, Saturday. Today's Sunday. God, it's been a long weekend.
Obviously.
So Logan and I were like, this is,
bro time. Yeah.
Basically, and it was 8 in the morning or something. Their appointment was. We dropped them off 1:45.
That's too early.
So Logan's like, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, well, one, I got to go to pharmacy because I got to tell got to get medic Band-Aids for my fucking death appendage.
One of your death appendages.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'm like, we went and got coffee before he dropped the girls off. And Leah got a bagel. Logan already ordered a drink. And he's like, God, I didn't know I could get food or would order food. I'm starving. So I was like, And I was hungry too. So
no, you should have. That would have been a great time for you to go, I would have brought some beef jerky to tide us over. But you're an asshole and made all of it.
He's asked me multiple times when I'm making more too, asshole. But
time to teach him how.
Yeah, really.
Be like, are you buying it? Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
But so, and then it hit me. I was like, well, the girls aren't here. This is like you said, we're broing out. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's about time. My 16-year-old son has had a Waffle House experience.
Now, the best Waffle House times are to go late, though.
Oh, yeah, and I told him that.
Yeah. You gotta go 2-3 in the morning type experience.
Yeah.
Because it's like going to Denny's when we were growing up,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was at a Waffle House a long time ago at about 2 in the morning after we did something like a concert or something. I don't know. It was Jeannie and it was like Kelly and Dan. That's how long ago it was.
Right.
The 4 of us. And there was a dude in there that was probably in his 60s because he just looked that old. Mm. And I've never seen more metal in a person's face. That's the crowd you get at that time of night at Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always bad though. It's just it's interesting people watching for sure.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so
yeah, that's what I told him too. I'm like, because he's looking around, he's like, there's some odd people in here. I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm like, it's a completely different world once you come here in the middle of the night.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you need to have that experience at some point.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, the Waffle House experience was fine. I mean, it is what it is.
What kind of eggs did you get?
I didn't. I'm like, I'm at a Waffle House. I'm going to get a waffle.
Oh, okay.
Like, waffles and sausage, and then, hash browns, smothered, chunked, and whatever the fuck, peppered,
You're like, here's what I want. I want this, this, and this, and I want everything on these.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But the highlight, Brian, the highlight of the Waffle House experience is when we pulled in. Mm-hmm. There was a Ford F-150, like one of the newer ones. Complete, and I should have taken a picture of it. It's my one regret. Completely covered in cat gear. I'm not talking like kitty cat cats. I'm talking like construction equipment, Caterpillar stuff.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Like stickers, nothing runs like a deer, like John Deere, with a cat on its ass, just dumb shit like that. And it had like this weird yellow piping around the lights, like a cat would, and it had like flags hanging off. It was insane.
Wow. All right.
And I'm not talking about just on the back of the truck. Like when we walked on the side, there was stuff all down the side.
Right. They used a cat koozie for their drink inside.
Dude, hold on.
All right.
So as I'm observing this truck, and I'm like, and I kept telling Logan, like, we should pose by this truck. It's so neat. Mm-hmm. In this truck, he's just, God, Dad. Because I love antagonizing my children.
If I had been there, you and I would have busted our gangster pose out again on it.
Fuck. Yeah. Down by the wheel like it's a spinning rim.
Yep. Yes.
But then I look through the picturesque Waffle House window. Mm-hmm. And there's this dude stand up. He's got a bright yellow coat on. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that guy owns this truck.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's coming out, and I'm telling Logan the whole time, like, I really should get my picture of this guy. It's like meeting a celebrity, And Logan's like, are you seriously going to get your... And I'm like, no, but I'm definitely going to hold the door open for him because he is an important man.
Naturally.
So I hold the door open for him. This guy's, he's an older gentleman, and he's got a cat hat on, a bright yellow cat coat. His phone case is cat.
Wow.
His belt buckle's cat.
Jeez.
And then embroidered on his coat, it says, The Cat Man.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Did the plates say that too?
No.
Oh.
They should have, though.
They should have. Well, somebody probably already has it. And it's probably someone who subscribes to like Cat Fancy, though. It's a different kind of cat man. Yeah.
It's the host of that My Shitty Cat or whatever that show is. What's his name? Like Tyler Galaxy?
I can tell you.
It's
Jackson Galaxy.
That's it, Jackson Galaxy.
I've watched that show plenty of times, yeah. So.
Yeah, get some new facial hair, Mr. Galaxy.
Yeah. He did change it a little bit.
Did he? The last time I saw him, he looked ridiculous.
Oh, it still looks ridiculous, but he changed it a little bit, yeah.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I had to run in with the cat man.
See, you know how you and I have talked various times, and I'm like, there's people that you see, and I just want to go get their story. That is one of those people, for sure.
Yeah, and without coming across like a dick, I did want to be like, what's it called, the Caterpillar?
Yeah,
stuff?
Because it might be a cool story. You never know. Maybe he won a contest, or maybe he, maybe he worked for the company for 1,000 years. Whatever.
No, we just basically made fun of him because right by that Waffle House is a construction zone with Caterpillar stuff. And I'm like, he eats breakfast here just so you can look at the machinery out the window.
Probably. Oh, man. You ain't kidding.
The goddamn cat man.
Pulls out a bottle of cat lube and,
oh, God.
some cat tissues. And
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Just vigorously lubes up a little Hot Wheels backhoe and then sits on it.
Wow. Well, at least you went Hot Wheels and not Tonka or something, Like,
right.
Yikes.
Like, damn, cat man, how long have you been doing this?
That's why they call him the Cat Man.
Call him the cat man.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was something though.
Damn, I am really disappointed that you didn't send me pictures.
Yeah, I regret not taking a picture of his truck.
I'm also very much regret that I wasn't there.
Yes. Yeah, it was amazing.
Now it's like part of me wants to look him up, see if I can locate him like on Facebook or something. Maybe we can get him on the Enthusiast.
I'm going to Google the Catman.
Yeah, we'll go to Waffle House and interview him, Let's
see what we got here. I can't imagine. Oh, God. Oh, why did I Google that?
Is it some guy who's...
Of course, it's not the guy that I want. It's some guy that's called Stalking Cat, and he's a body modification guy, so he looks like a cat now.
I actually think I know who that is. I think I've seen him on TV shows, yeah.
Pretty sure he should just, I don't know, be lit on fire.
Terrifying. All right. Oh, wow. What an experience. Well, it's nice, at least, someday a long time from now, Logan will look back on this and, he can have that fond memory of the time.
Yes, exactly.
When y'all went to Waffle House.
Fond memory of the Catman.
Or it'll be a great chapter in his, his book Post-Therapy.
Also true.
Yeah.
About his first Waffle House experience.
Yeah. Could be both.
And to his credit, he did go, I can see this place being really great on a road trip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they're always right off the highway, and it's not terrible.
No, you're right. They're always off the, right off the highway. And especially, like, you see a lot more of them going south, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We stopped at one on our way to Florida. I don't think we ate there, though, after I think about it. I think we were going to, but then we, looked inside and decided not to because it was busy.
Right?
With freaks! No.
Goddamn right it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was, wow. I don't even have a good Waffle House story like that. I mean, I've seen plenty of weird people and orders from there, but I've never really seen, I can't top Catman.
Catman was amazing.
I mean, I think he goes right into, to pull an old gimmick of ours back. I mean, I think he's like a first ballot Hall of Famer for the Hero Hall of Fame.
Right.
I mean, did you give him his plaque while you were there? I mean, in the ham? Cause you should have.
I wish I would have, but he was on his way out. I was on the way in.
I understand. It's intimidating to meet your heroes,
Goddamn right it is. Also, and this cracked me up because, whenever I go to anywhere and they have hot sauces sitting out, I always got to look at them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cause I got to talk about that too. But, so I pulled this huge jar because I'm like, Tabasco, they got, Frank's, whatever. Then there's a bottle I didn't recognize. It was a side view. So I turned the thing towards me. And Waffle House has their own picante sauce.
Oh, really?
It's called Casa de Waffle, which is amazing.
All right. So did you give it a go?
No.
Oh.
Because I didn't get eggs.
Oh, right. Naturally. Yeah. All right. I didn't know if maybe you just, squoze a little on your hand or something.
But just the fact it's Casa de Waffle.
That's pretty awesome.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that they don't take themselves very seriously in that regard,
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm very disappointed. I just typed in Catman Toledo and just to see if anything would pop up, but there's nothing. So we'll just have to hope we can run into him in the wild again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like the, fucking, Midnight Rambler or whatever. God damn it. What was Dusty Rhodes' character?
Well, he was the American Dream.
Yeah, but he was when he had the mask on.
Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck.
Midnight something.
Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what it was, though. Wow, good pull.
All right, I'm looking.
You looking it up? Okay, I was going to say.
Yep.
You can look it up right now.
Midnight Rider.
There you go. I don't know why that's hard to remember. That seems like it should have been.
Well, it's an Allman Brothers song.
Yeah.
Good song.
That's probably where he named it from.
Probably.
Yeah. Son of a plumber.
Comes right into town. Sweet sapphire.
Yep. Oh, man. I'll tell you, he did really well for a guy with a speech impediment.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, he's got some of the best promos ever, you know?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Not to mention,
Let me tell you something, Daddy.
Yep. I want to dine with kings and queens. And yeah. Also the fashion stuff that he wore. Oh my God.
Right.
Some of the stuff he wore was just phenomenal. And by that, I'm being very sarcastic, especially for a large man who liked to dance. It was something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely something.
But I'll tell you, I mean, you know, he knew what the hell he was doing in the business though.
I just love the black and yellow polka dots.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Cause, you know, when you're as large as he was, wearing a black and yellow polka dotted, bikini was
onesie.
Well, no, it wasn't a onesie. That was like a tank top he took off when he wrestled.
Oh, okay.
And then he was just wearing the trunks because, you know, you got to show your physique off when you're a pro wrestler, you know?
Well, you definitely do.
And unfortunately, he really didn't have a physique that should be shown off, but you know, hey, whatever.
Whatever, right?
He still got out there and did it.
Goddamn right.
While shaking his ass.
Yep. Man tits and all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, if you're into wrestling and all, you don't know much about Dusty Rhodes, seriously, get on YouTube and look up some of his promos, or if you have the WWE Network, I think they have a collection of Dusty Rhodes stuff. Because I think
they should.
I think they put it together after he died. So
right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Yeah, that's all I got for the week. I've got other stuff, but that's all I have for the week. Do you have anything else for the week?
Well, Chris Cornell. What's up with
Yeah,
that?
I was going to talk about that actually. Yeah. Boy, what a kick in the dick. Cause here's some weird shit about this. Okay. First of all, if you don't know, Chris Cornell was the front man of Soundgarden, Audioslave, Temple of the Dog. I don't know, probably other bands, but anyway, huge influential guy from the Seattle sound and grunge music.
Right.
And just, you know, an incredible voice, you know, like I just, like, if you ever get a chance and you really want to hear some great stuff, just start going down a YouTube hole of Chris Cornell covers.
Yeah, definitely.
He's done some amazing covers over the years. I mean, his stuff's great too, but anyway. But first of all, I didn't know they were going to be in Detroit, like Soundgarden.
Right.
Cause otherwise I would have been like, dude, we need to go see Soundgarden.
I imagine tickets were ridiculous.
They might have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably though. You know, but anyway, so he was in Detroit, and then, you know, just a matter of hours after the show, he apparently hung himself, in his room. And, you know, I was talking with, Fluffy Bunny Ash about it, like right after, you know, a couple hours or so after it happened. And I was like, can you imagine being at that show though? And then waking, you know, like we're talking about, it's like, can you imagine that? And then you're waking up the next day going, holy shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And actually a friend of mine actually was at that concert, and basically I saw his reaction on Facebook that was like, holy shit, you know, like I'm bugging out a little bit because, you know, we saw the last performance he'll ever give. And,
right.
You know, so I was like, man, that's kind of weird. So it's like, on one hand, it's like, man, I wish I would have been there because I'll never have a chance to see them now. But on the other hand, it's like, man, that would be a weird kind of thing. Be like, yeah, you know, just a few hours after that concert, you know,
it's pretty wild.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it's sad because a guy who's dealt with depression for a long, long time, you know, it was too much. I know some people are blaming his medicine, but medicine doesn't generally cause, it can increase your suicidal ideations, but it doesn't generally cause you to commit suicide, you know? You still gotta kinda wanna do that. And again, he's got a history of depression. It's not like he just once, you know, may have overdosed on something and, you know, and then decided. It's probably not. I don't want to speak in specifics because I'm not a doctor or whatever, but, you know, it's like, it's sad no matter what, because, you know, it's a dude we grew up with.
Right, exactly.
And another big name from that era, you know?
Yep.
I mean, Lane Staley, Kurt Cobain, Scott Weiland. Well, Scott Weiland died, but his was, you know, drugs eventually. And
I was going to say, because with, like, Scott Weiland,
yeah,
I wasn't surprised.
Not at all.
When I heard about Chris Cornell, I was like, the fuck?
Yeah,
you know?
the only, like, I was taken aback because I knew he had depression, but I I thought he kind of had it under control, but if nothing else, that shows you how awful of a beast depression can be.
Exactly.
You know, again, a guy who's super successful, very influential, loved by a lot of people, got a great family situation, and yet this still was, you know, still told him that this was the only way out, you know?
Right.
So, if nothing else, anytime this stuff happens, it's like, I like the fact that people are talking about this, because suicide is something a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Right.
And it's something that needs a lot of people to talk about it, because it's such a taboo thing. It really does need to get out there and talked about, because, you know, I'm not saying that it could have been prevented in any way, but it's just, people need to know the warning signs, you know. And again, this tells you how horrible mental illness can be, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
As I stand in my crazy life soapbox for a minute here.
And nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it really hit me kind of hard, because again, it's another one of those guys that back when I was really going through probably my darkest point with depression, when I was kind of having suicidal ideations, it was, Soundgarden was one of those bands that was on repeat for me, you know, them and Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots, and it's like, man, all three singers of those bands are dead, you know.
Right.
And even though Scott Weiland's took longer, I mean, realistically, it's a suicide. You know, he's killing himself with drugs. You know, Lane Staley overdosed. You know, Chris Cornell hung himself. It's, you know what I mean? It's a brutal situation. It's why, you know, I saw some people kind of trying to find some lightness in it, like going, you know, Eddie Vedder's, you know, got to live forever now to carry the torch, you know, and but yeah, anyway. So what do you got about that? I don't know. I've been just babbling here.
Well, I was just more like just taken aback by it, and it sucks, because I enjoyed him as an artist.
Yeah,
and it's just, you know, it does just suck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just want to bring it up because, like you said, it's from our era of music. I mean, honestly, it's
actually a little before us, really, because Soundgarden formed in like '84. I didn't know that. I did, only because me and Henno were just talking about like the Seattle sound seriously the Wednesday before it happened. And I think the week before or something, we talked about it too a little bit. And we had talked about how Soundgarden, cause I didn't know they had been around that long. I only knew Soundgarden from like the 90s basically. And he's like, oh no, they're from like the 80s. So.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah. Like they're one of the bands that was really doing grunge before grunge was even a real word, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's.
But yeah, like I used to have a Soundgarden hat, and you know, my wife, before she was my wife, stole it from me. So that it's always been just a little something in my life. Soundgarden.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it's so weird how we loved those bands so much, but we didn't really go see any of those bands. Like I know you saw Stone Temple Pilots, and I was supposed to go, but kidney stones. So, but that's the only one, right? Like we never tried to go see Alice in Chains or Soundgarden or Pearl Jam or Nirvana. Was probably, we might not have been allowed because of our age for Nirvana. So
that could be.
I don't even know if Nirvana was ever through here, honestly. They may have been. I just wouldn't know, you know. I know all the other bands have been through.
Sure there either.
Yeah. So it's just kind of weird.
Right.
And now, literally, we can't go see. Well, we can still see Alice in Chains because they're still touring. Because with they've got Jerry Cantrell. Cantrell did half the vocals anyway, and then they, you know, so and then you know Pearl Jam we could still go see. But yeah, now all those people who got to see Temple of a Dog this past year. I mean, man, talk about like people were joking then it was probably going to be a once in a lifetime type deal, and literally it is.
I know, right?
Yeah. Because
it's a real bummer.
Nobody can replace Cornell. Another, you know, because he's such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, anyway, like I said, you know, the best thing I can say again, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So, do yourself a favor. Do somebody else maybe a favor. Look up the signs for suicide. You know, the warning signs. Make sure you know what they are, because there's some of them in the list that are very big red flags, but some of them are really subtle and easily overlooked. So, you know, I just, again, you know, stand on a soapbox for a minute because this is the right time to do it. you know, when it's
Yeah, for sure.
fresh in everyone's mind. And, you know, and if you loved his music, I mean, luckily for everybody, there's so much of it. He put out you know, like again, there's all the Soundgarden stuff. There's, you know, there's the Audio Slave stuff. There's Temple of the Dog. There's all his solo stuff. You know, there's tons of his music to go, you know, enjoy at least.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I guess since we're all along the lines of suicide and whatnot, I finally finished watching 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your impressions of that?
Yeah.
It's a tough show to really talk about because there's so much that went on all through it. Yeah.
Like I liked it. Here's my general thought is I liked it, and people should watch it. Mm-hmm. But the hang up I had was one of them was the whole time I'm like, I'm almost 40, and this is like a teen drama.
Sure.
But it's a very adult based teen drama.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they kind of get a pass there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't like the way it ended.
Well, let's do this. How about we put this up? Let's talk about this at the end of the show for a minute. That way we can do our normal spoilers, and if people don't want to listen.
That's a fine idea.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's move on to, I don't know, whatever else is next. Well, I guess, you know, since you did that, let's talk about something on Netflix. Did you see Netflix is putting out a new Dark Crystal show?
What?
Yeah.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, it's called Dark Crystal, where is it here? Age of Resistance. And it's
alrighty,
and they're doing it like, you know, with actual like the puppets and stuff, just like before. They're not going like all CG and stuff with it. It's set. It's a prequel type of thing, but it's set well in advance. Like they said, that you probably won't see Jen and Kira, and it said they may bring back Emperor Skeksis. I forgot how to say it. It's been too long.
Yeah, Skeksis.
Okay. Yep. But, yeah, I'm trying to just skim this. I read this earlier and I can't remember. Yeah, anyway, but I'm trying to look for a date on it too, because I thought I read that when it's supposed to come out and I can't find it now, which sucks.
It's pretty awesome though.
Yeah. It's funny a lot, you know, it's obviously like most things like this that come out, you know, people immediately are, you know, drawing lines, essentially. You know, it's going to be 10 episodes, according to this. I can't find... Maybe it's not. I thought there was like a date, like not a firm date, but, you know, like this fall or whatever. But I cannot find it. It might be in the article. I'm just skimming past it. So,
right.
But anyway, yeah, 10 episodes and different stuff. And, you know, and it's in, you know, like Jim Henson's team is working on it. So it's not like it's, you know, just Netflix doing this all on their own or anything. So yeah, I'm kind of interested. I was never a huge Dark Crystal fan, but I'll definitely watch it because I'm interested.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I know a lot of people loved that movie, you know, well, I shouldn't say loved, but loved that movie, whatever. And like I said, I know a lot of them it seems to be kind of divisive, but you know, that's the way it is anytime there's a remake or a prequel or a sequel or, you know, whatever.
Right.
But still kind of exciting. So I thought
that is pretty cool.
Yeah. I had something else here too. Oh, did you see Roseanne is coming back next month or next year? Like
the television show?
Yes.
With
whole
everybody?
Cast. Yep, the original cast.
No shit.
Yeah, it's coming back to ABC.
I was already asked if it was a Netflix thing because Netflix has all the money to ABC.
To ABC, yeah. Now, here's something I want to do.
Does John Goodman need a new roof or something? Or
hold on real quick. Let's do this. And I know this is going to seem silly, but in the event you haven't seen the ending of the original Roseanne series, spoilers, because it's relevant to talk about. You know, fast forward if you haven't and want to know, because the final season of the show kind of went weird. Like they win the lottery and all the family basically moves back in and Dan and Roseanne have marital issues like through it to where they almost get divorced. Like Dan is actually living out of the house for a lot of the season. And then at the very end, you find
that movie career.
Yeah. Well, you know, King Ralph. I mean, let's not, anyway.
yeah. Goddamn right. Would you besmirch King Ralph?
In the final episode, though, they reveal that actually the whole final season is basically Roseanne just created it, and that actually Dan died of a heart attack. Like the previous season, I think the finale is when Darlene and David are getting married, and Dan has a heart attack. And then we learn in the final episode of the final season that he actually died then. And Roseanne basically makes up the final, cause she's early in the show, she was like wanted to be a creative writer. So basically she just created this different stuff, and she flipped that like David and, Mark were actually with the opposite girls and different or something. Like she reveals all these kind of little twists, which was kind of an interesting ending. But it's like, but if that happened, how do you bring Dan back? Cause this is in the future. This isn't, so I'm very curious to see how they deal with the fact that Dan was supposed to be dead.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I see, there's a thing here from a day ago on thebustle.com.
Okay.
I'm not reading that. I'm just looking at the headline. It says the Roseanne reboot is ignoring the show's controversial ending.
Okay, so that explains how they're bringing Dan back then.
Yeah.
See, and that's too bad because I actually thought that was a beautiful twist at the end because it wasn't like, oh God, what was that show? Dallas or whatever, when that one season when JR got shot and then they just revealed it was all a dream sequence or whatever, which people were furious about.
Yes.
I actually, when they got the whole season of Roseanne, I was like, this is weird. Like they're really just being odd in this, it's like the show's losing what I loved about it, which was it felt like my family with me growing up, I dealt with a lot of the same shit that happened on Roseanne.
Well, I think that's why Roseanne was so popular.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people did that,
but then all of a sudden they got money and she's flying around the world and it's like, I was just like, this just doesn't, and then that finale hit and I was like, oh wow, I was like, okay, I could see that she loses Dan, who was the love of her life, and she took her hurt and, fabricated this happy story instead. It's like, I think that's a great ending.
Yeah.
So to ignore that, I'm like, oh, all right. But, whatever.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks
ABC.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm very curious to see how that picks up because, I'm just really, I'll probably give it a try because I really loved that show. So. Well,
Roseanne was, pretty terrific.
Yeah. And like you said, it was because it was one of the few sitcoms to where I'd watch it and be like, I believe this. Like
I can relate.
Most of the stuff that happens on here feels relatable. Like when they lost their bike shop and they were struggling for money and stuff. It's like, I watched my dad lose his business and we struggled for money. You know what I mean? Like I lived a lot of the stuff they lived on that show. So it was much easier to really relate to than a lot of sitcoms where everything just kind of works out for them,
Right, yeah.
You're like, oh. Anyway.
Or even with current reality TV.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go shopping for shoes after I get off my private jet.
I did that this morning.
But they don't have the shoes I want.
That's when I start winging pint glasses at people.
Yeah, pint glass.
Where are you getting these from? We don't even have pint glasses in here. I've just got
surprise pint glass. Straight across the face.
I entered a cheat code. Ha! Whenever I pull my hand back, I just get a fresh pint glass.
Nice.
Oh man. Speaking of, not cheat codes, but I've been playing Saints Row 4 now, and I've got about 20% of the game done.
Right.
And I know this is not a new game by any means, like
no.
2 or 3 or 16 years old.
It's pretty old, actually.
Yeah. But, it was weird because the game was missing a lot of the, like, funny stuff that, like, the other Saints Row seemed to have.
Right.
There was an occasional joke here and there, but it was like, man, I just don't feel like, it's like the superpowers thing kind of makes the game really easy. And,
definitely.
There weren't a lot of jokes, for a while in it. But I forgot, like, the version I have also has all the DLC with it. And one of them is called Enter the Dominatrix.
Right.
And what happens is, how the game takes place within a game, basically. You're in a simulation. Well, in the Enter the Dominatrix thing, the simulation takes the form of a dominatrix. And you have to go through, of course, because it's Saints Row. And one of the missions is you have to go like through a sex club, and to try to get to the dominatrix, you have to talk to a dom whose name is Dom. And
Dom.
Yeah, and one of the first things you have to do is you have to use the telekinesis power to capture furries and throw them back into their cages.
That's hilarious.
And then the next one, you like have to go beat up people, which is easy because you have a dildo bat. So,
well, why wouldn't you?
Well, you don't need it though, because at this point, like I'm on my second level of like superpowered punch or whatever. So all I have to do is sprint at them and just crush them.
Right.
But dildo bat, I mean, I'm not
dildo bat.
I'm not gonna not use the dildo bat.
Superpowered punch or purple floppy dick.
Right.
Yeah.
So
purple floppy dick every time.
Well, after you get out of this club that you're in, you have to take part in a chariot race, which is basically a bunch of gimps acting as the horses, pulling chariots, and you're like, I can't think of the guy's name. The guy who has the like auto-tune voice. Is it B?
Oh, T.I.?
I can't remember. No, I mean in the game.
I'm talking real life.
Yeah. No, the character from Saints Row. It's B something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, he's your horse basically. And as the other chariots come up, like you've got a gun and you have to like shoot the people chasing you so you can win the race. And the chariots will explode, which is kind of funny because, that's all I started doing after a while, just aiming right for the chariots, blow them up. That kills everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But
you got to hit the gas tank.
Right. Which that cracked me up because that's a total Saints Row move, Yeah. The chariot race, because it's like you have to win the chariot race. And I'm like, and I honestly was expecting the like furries in the game. Like I figured it was going to be guys dressed as horses or something. But it wasn't.
Right.
They're just guys in like zipper masks.
Well, you know how you can customize your gang members that walk around the town?
Yeah.
My gang members consist of basically a woman that looks like a prostitute, a ninja, a furry, and a gimp. Those are my standard gang members.
Right. I am enjoying that. Honestly, do you know what gun I'm using the most? When I'm using a gun, like when I have to go take out a hotspot or something, I'm using, have you gotten the weapon to where it's like a bunch of weapons taped together, basically?
Oh yeah, the America gun?
Yeah, like it's a flamethrower, it shoots bullets, it throws knives, and I forget, it does something else too. I think there's 4 functions to it.
Oh, I might not have that one. I don't know about throwing knives. I got the one that's like, I think it's just called like the Patriot or something.
Yeah.
And you shoot it and it's like, it plays patriotic music.
Right.
And it's a flamethrower and missiles and machine guns.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't throw knives. It has missiles. There is a knife thrower weapon though that just throws knives, which I have too. But because again, I have a bunch of different weapons and cars because
DLC,
this is
right?
DLC. Yeah. But I'm really not using vehicles like ever. Like I remember in the last one, whenever you had to roll up on like a gang thing, I used to have a tank dropped off, and then I just roll up in a tank and just blow up everybody. I don't even bother now. I just zip in there with my superpower shit and just knock everybody around basically, or I'll go in with that gun because it is a lot of fun to use. Or the last one I did, dildo bat.
Dildo bat. Also, I do like the I don't know if you have it. The singularity gun's fun too.
Oh yeah, I use that in a mission or in one of the mayhem things, but I haven't. I don't think I have.
Just because point and click black holes is pretty cool.
It is. I'll tell you what I really wish is. I really want to play this game with somebody. Like, I want to do co-op stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think this one will be a lot of... I mean, you and I did on the last one, but, unless
the superpowers, it'd be extra silly.
Oh, God, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
So, anyway, enough about that. But it's fun. I've enjoyed playing it, but I don't think it's as fun as Saints Row 3 was.
I would agree.
But, don't get me wrong, the superpowers are kind of fun to screw around with. Like, telekinesis is kind of cool to pick a car up and throw it.
yeah, definitely.
Some of that stuff is fun, but, I mean, I haven't found anything as fun as running around in a pocket fisting things.
Right.
The
old pocket fist.
Yeah. Nothing has been that fun yet, but I still have a long way to go in the game. There are a couple things that kind of annoy me, like how you have to do some of like when you have to climb those towers. Like,
oh yeah, right.
That's just like, I'm just like, just give me a regular mission instead of doing this. So, I have one last thing to say about this, which is I have flown in this game plenty of times now. I've barely died while flying.
Hey, you're learning and stuff.
Well, it's because they're really simple to control the flight stuff in these games.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much just...
I was trying to give you a compliment.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying to give you a positive pint glass to the face.
Nice. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So one last thing I have about like movies and whatever. Did you see Tom Hardy was cast as Venom in the upcoming Venom standalone?
I did see that.
I like that.
I only hope he sounds like Bane the whole time. That'd be cool.
I don't know about that, but I just think he's a good choice for Venom, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was one of my things. I was like, God, watch, they're going to cast some like 15-year-old kid as Venom, you know? Or like when they picked Topher Grace, I was like, really though? Like, why are you not like?
At least Tom Hardy's like an intimidating looking dude.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you're going to give me Eddie Brock, give me Eddie Brock from the comics. Find some dude who's muscular. I'm sure you can find one in Hollywood.
Okay, I know I've said it on the show before, but I'm going to say it again. If you want to see a good Tom Hardy movie, watch Bronson.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the first movie. I was like, damn, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, he's a fine actor. I don't have a problem. Like when I saw he was cast, I was like, all right, like that's a move the right way.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
So I guess, you know, since we got comic movies real quick, I don't even know where we're at time wise, but
yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
You see the initial reactions to Wonder Woman. People are saying best DC movie ever.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that statement is a lot of DC movies haven't had a real good fanfare. So
yes.
To say it's the best one doesn't necessarily tell me if it's good though. You know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But the preview or the review that I read yesterday seem to point that it's a decent movie. So, which,
I mean, you know, I was just hoping they weren't going to fuck it up because it looks good.
Yeah.
And,
me too. It does. I love the feel of the movie. Like, I love the kind of retro-y vibe that it seems like a lot of the movies got to it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see that. I don't know if I'll see it in the theater because I don't know if anybody I know will go see it in the theater, but if not, I'll see it at some point.
We told our kids that once a month we're all going to go see a movie as a family. So I think the next one's going to be Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
yeah, I think
you can always become my adopted son for a day.
Finally. Sweet. I'm gonna bug the hell out of you. Eat all the beef jerky.
You son of a bitch.
Nice. I think I'm going to see Guardians on Tuesday. So.
Oh, nice.
That'll be all sorted out, and we can talk about that a little bit, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. I'm also by next week. I'm going to try to catch up on American Gods. So.
Oh, so good.
So we can talk about that a little bit too, maybe.
Right.
I was just looking. I think that's all I got, except for some shut up and take my money. So. Unless you got some more.
No, I'm about spent out of my stuff I got wrote down.
All right. So let's do, shut up and take my money then, I guess.
Alrighty.
Shut up and take my money.
So the first one I have here, which I'm actually going to click on the link because I don't know if they're actually still available or not, but it was something I had to bring up either way. I'm actually hit you with, I believe that's the link real quick.
See if I can figure out with new shit Skype.
Oh, right.
Asshole.
Oh, damn it. So.
Okay, there we go.
Anyway, the shut up and take my money for this week, the first one, is on ProWrestlingTees.com. They have Macho Man, officially licensed by the family, high top, like Converse high tops. And they're way more expensive than I would ever spend on them, but I just think they look really cool. But they're $175 a pair. They're
oh shit, there's only 200 pairs of them.
Yeah. Which I'll tell you, if I had the money, I'd be real tempted to get a pair because this is something that may have some collectability to it. There's another company, I don't know if it's Converse or something else that just did some other wrestler shoes. Like there's Ric Flair ones, there's Undertaker ones that are really limited too. And,
right.
But anyway, this is, wouldn't surprise me if this does well, if they'll probably have other, have other wrestlers available.
They're definitely pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought they were really cool. Again, I would never spend $175 on them unless I was buying them purely as a collectible. Yeah, if I bought them, there's no way in hell I'd wear them,
Right.
I just put them in a case or something like that. Because to me, just like, hey, look, they're works of art or something. So, but anyway, that's the first one.
Right.
I figured you'd dig,
a good one.
I figured you'd dig those because,
definitely
look at them.
Exactly. Right.
The second one's something I think you're going to dig a little bit too. They announced, on Reddit, there's Funko Pop things where they show upcoming someone will get a list of what's upcoming to GameStop or something like that. And, I was looking through this list my brother sent me, and, one of the ones I saw in the Funko Pops, they're making more football ones, and they're making Barry Sanders, which I'm very excited about, of course.
That's cool. Right.
They're making other NFL legends. There's going to be Joe Montana, Joe Namath, I think Terry Bradshaw. And then I saw Walter Payton was one of them.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't seen pictures of it yet, but man, I hope it's him without the helmet with the kind of afro and the sweatband around it.
That's how it should be.
So, but yeah, like I said, I thought that's one you might see and kind of think is neat. But
I do find that to be neat.
Yeah. And, various other, I can't remember who else. I think there's one or two more legends I'm forgetting. Oh, Deion Sanders, which I really hope he's in a dancing pose, from when he used to, dance in the end zones or whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
No icky shuffle.
No icky shuffle.
God damn it.
That'd be awesome. What would be better is if there was some way for it to do the icky shuffle.
I know, all right.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought it was cool that I think they're going to be in the same wave as regular NFL players. I don't think it's an NFL Legends wave. I think it might be, but I haven't read anything that says it is. But those are, I forgot when those are coming out, June or July, maybe August, something like that. It's down the road a couple months, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll probably mention it again when they get close, because I'll probably forget that I've already mentioned it.
Well, I guess we'll have to close out this.
Shut up and take my money.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Indeedly doodly. Yeah, all right. So I guess it's cue the W time, eh?
It sure is, Brian. It sure is.
That's what I heard.
So if you recall, last week we asked y'all, what do the youth do these days that make you go, fucking kids?
Right.
So I've got Facebook. People like this on the old Facebook.
Oh, I bet people love complaining about kids these days.
I know, right? I should really do more ones related to that, I guess.
Yeah, stupid me. I forgot to post it in some of my Twitter rooms because I really think we would have gotten a lot of good answers here.
Yeah, fair enough. So Jared says all of these stupid challenges they do: eraser challenge, backpack challenge. Make sure to look these up. You'll realize our species may die with the new generation. Bravo, Jared.
Well, let's stop for a second and go back here. We just didn't have YouTube, or this shit would have existed in our generation too. Because we did plenty of dumb shit growing up too. Throwing ourselves off of swings, which people still do, I'm sure. I mean, how do we not kill ourselves doing that? So.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we weren't incredibly intelligent with a lot of the stuff we did either, so.
What do you mean?
But I do agree with him. Enough with the challenges already.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we got that. We got Dev. He says it would be easier to list the things that don't piss me off. Seems like a cop-out, Dev, but I'll accept your answer.
Stop trying to be so crotchety, Dev. We just asked for one. You didn't have to give us that. You could just give us one. Right? Silly kids. All right.
Clint says, raping the English language by using words like bay or fleek. I want to bash skulls every time I hear those words.
So he was pretty similar to where mine was, too. That, the internet speak is becoming regular speak.
Right?
Yeah.
This one comes from your mom, actually. She says, act like they know it all, done it all, and still haven't got a clue, and you're supposed to believe and trust in them.
I think shots were fired at me with that. No.
Maybe. I'm still not taking gas money.
No. And I have an internet, the internet and a microphone, so I do know everything.
Right, exactly.
Got any more?
Done. So, Jeff from Hobie.
Yeah.
He says simply one word, exist.
Ouch.
I mean,
let's be fair. If we're going to call devs a cop-out, it's a cop-out.
True.
All right.
But then, Lady Space Violence tagged it with amen, brother.
Yeah, well, that's why I said.
And then Ashley from Trivia Nights, she says there's sense of entitlement.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what the face page had for me, Brian.
All right, let's have a look-see at the Twitters. Henno, my wonderful and lovely co-host on The Crazy Life, he says, freaking kids and they're driving around in a van in the med lane. I think Henno's stuck in a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
I like it.
Yeah. But he's not wrong. They do drive around in things in metal, so.
They do, fucking meddling kids.
Yeah. We would have gotten away with so much.
Yes.
All right, let's see what else we got here. We've got, was it at Matthew RMCD? He says, when they do that thing, that thing, that's annoying. Which, cop out. I'm calling it.
It called.
Sorry. Our pal Garrett said, the pride they take in being stupid/ignorant. My wife's youngest sister actively tries to avoid learning and finds being dumb to be funny. That's a great one.
Yeah, that is.
I want to piggyback on that and say trying to be random or ironic also.
Right. Yes.
And it's like, just stop trying so hard.
Well, I'm going to actually tag this with something my daughter does that annoys the shit out of me.
Fair enough.
She'll just, I'll be doing anything. On my phone, on a computer, whatever, not paying attention.
Yeah.
And she'll walk by, and out of the corner of my eye, I could tell she's looking at me. She'll have something goofy on her head or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't pay attention to her, because I already know what she's up to, she'll just stop in a hallway and just be like, "Don't judge me." Which I have to immediately go, "I'm not even looking at you."
Yeah. It's really funny. I'm actually surprised my mom didn't type selfies because she hates how many selfies she sees on Facebook and stuff. And she's not even on any other social media. I'm on, all the things, and it's I see so many selfies.
The media.
I keep telling her, you used to it because it's never going to get better. People love a good ego feed,
It's true.
So, all right, let's see. I also have one from Fluffy Bunny Ash, and this is kind of a lengthy one, but this is an interesting point. She said she's going to go with their music. She said, now I know music tends to peak with whatever you listen to as a teen, so it's the typical old person thing to say the music the kids listen to today sucks. But the music today really does suck. Personal taste and preference aside, breaking the music down critically or artistically, it's just not good. It's not well written, not well played, if it has any real instruments at all. There's nothing distinct about it. It's sound. It lacks all characteristic and emotion. It's just generic. Back in my day, even the shittiest screamo garage band at least had a sound that stood out in the raw emotion of art still. Hell, the fucking thong song even is more artistic than some asshole mumbling panda, 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 panda. She's like the new Kendrick Lamar album. He actually made a real rap album with real rapping about real issues, and everybody is anointing him the greatest rapper of all time. Yes, it's a good album. No, it's not one of the greatest rap albums of all time. It's just been so long since real rap that if a single album comes along now, it's the greatest. If this came out in the late 80s or early 90s with NWA, Biggie, Tupac, and all those other old school greats, Kendrick's album wouldn't even make a splash. Which I really do agree with a lot of that. I mean, obviously, you know, there's some that is actual music that's going on, but I think it's in general, a lot of the like rock music, a lot of the rock music sounds really the same, like just kind of noise. And the pop music really is formulaic. You know, it's a lot of it. And again, there's exceptions, but in the Kendrick Lamar thing, I think she's spot on with that. Right now, it's a great rap album, or I didn't even think it was great. I thought it was all right, but I can see people saying it's a great rap album compared to a lot of the other rap. But if you move it back into the times of, you know, Tupac and Biggie and all that, it's like, yeah, it doesn't hold up.
Exactly, right?
Mm-hmm. And she also says, for a bonus answer, which is she forgot the previous week, which was, you know, what would your senior prank be? She put remap all the keyboards in the administration office / library wherever, or wherever it'll cause the most annoyance. Which
I like that.
That's fun. I did that once. When I left, I remapped my keyboard at home. So if my parents got on the computer, it would make sounds when they hit certain keys.
That's fantastic.
And it annoyed the shit out of them. Yeah, I didn't do it again, but once it was funny. Oh shit. And also have one here from our pal Cheeto Bandito.
Oh shit.
What do kids do that makes me say fucking kids? Not get any of my references. In my line of work, I'm often surrounded by coworkers that are anywhere from a few to 20 years younger. And I will say some seriously funny shit, making a fantastic pop culture reference of my generation, of course. And they look at me like I have 3 fucking heads. Fucking kids, man.
That's hilarious.
I enjoy that one.
That's a good one.
Cause been there. Yeah. I've done that in some of the Twitter rooms I've been in where I'll make a reference and I'll be like, wow, I probably no one's going to get this. So,
right.
Yeah. Good shit. That's what I got.
Good shit. All right. Well, it's going to be another kind of a kid related one, Brian.
Okay.
And not how much we hate them.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's been so hot this week here, at least where we live.
Yeah.
Briefly, it was hot. But maybe think it's summertime.
Like the Will Smith and, or DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince song, I'm sorry?
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, figured so. The one where they showed the video on, after an episode of the Fresh Prince?
Right. Nice. Now we're talking. But so what I'm wondering is what sort of, summer activity that you used to do as a kid would you still do now?
Oh, man. I mean, the easy way to go with this would be sitting in the air conditioning and playing video games, but I'm assuming you mean outdoor activity, right?
Yes. Yeah,
right.
I guess to be fair.
Okay. Cause, you know me in heat, so. Man, what do we used to do in the summer? Do you have one? Cause if so, go ahead and tell it. I'm trying to
I do have one.
Okay.
It would be, I would for sure get heavily involved in a squirt gun fight.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Squirt gun fight, water balloon fight, something like that would be strong.
Oh yeah. I will definitely, find myself in the middle of those still.
Yeah, I still would too. Yeah.
I just can't help myself. I'm a goddamn child.
I was trying to think what else there was. That's really probably the best answer, honestly, because of the stuff you and I did when we were growing up, like that's probably the thing I would do. Because I was never, I don't really do much. I don't really camp. I don't fish. I don't, do a lot of the stuff people do. I don't love going. I don't go swimming, because I can't swim. So, I mean, I could throw those lawn darts at people or something,
That was actually one of them that I was considering, was the old school lawn darts, because I would still play with those.
Yeah. Well, naturally, because we're not smart.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really effective once you're like, I have a cooler full of beer too.
Sure. Nice cooler
like
full
idea.
Of all days and some lawn darts. So,
I know, right?
Well, just so we're different, I'll go with that. How about that?
Fair enough.
Because I really can't think of it. Because in the summers, we used to go outside and, we'd hit golf balls over at the field, or we'd kick soccer balls around or some shit like that. But that was,
I would probably still kick a hacky sack around too.
Yeah,
I'd probably look like a complete asshole doing it, but I would give it a whirl.
Right. Well, I mean, as flexible as you are, it'd probably be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So flexible.
I wouldn't want to though, because, I'd still be, even with shoes on, I'd be afraid of your toe touching it. So,
it's contained in a fine layer of, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Right? Oh shit! That's what you need to do. You need to put a nice video of you slathering your toe with Vapor Rub up for everybody.
We'll put the sexy music.
Yeah, for all the foot lovers.
Damn right.
That's just for Patreon members.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, that's what you need to do. That's what you said.
Nothing says love until you get a Vicks Vapor Rub foot job.
Oh God. Oh.
The bird.
Jesus. Yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub one out's a bad idea. That is no bueno.
It's their side lube project.
Yeah.
The Vicks Vapor Rub one out.
Oh God. I've heard stories of people putting, icy hot on their balls and shit. And, not on purpose, but some on purpose. And fucking A, I can't imagine. I mean,
It's like a real dumb idea.
I've touched my shit after handling peppers and hot shit, and that was a terrible idea. So I can't imagine.
No bueno.
No bueno, I'm sure. Yeah.
Although I was sorely disappointed by fuck your face hot sauce.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Was not that hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with the lawn darts though, because I really can't think of much else. I mean, we did plenty of shit, but I also spent a lot of time in the summers in the air conditioning because it was too damn hot out for me.
That's fair.
Because again, I don't deal well with heat. I never have. So when it gets hot, I'm usually like, oh, air conditioning. I'm going to stay in here.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably the best I got there.
All right. Well, there you go, man.
All right. So I have one last thing to talk about real quick before we wrap up here. And,
all right.
Did you see this week, all the fuss on the internets about the male rompers?
I saw a little bit about it, but
okay.
I didn't really pay attention to it.
Okay. There was, I forgot, was it Esquire or something like that posted that, there's a video and it shows these 4 guys, having fun in their male rompers, and they just look ridiculous. Although, one of my favorite things was hey, this isn't new. Remember Connery wore one of these in one of the Bond movies. And they're totally right.
Oh, jeez.
Because he wore a blue one with a white belt or something like that. I can't remember which Bond movie it was in, but he totally rocked a romper back in his day. But it was
the old romper.
It was the 70s, so whatever.
Well, I'm looking at rompers on Amazon, and I wish I never would have.
Yeah, so don't lie, you're ordering some.
I can't say that I am, Brian.
Oh, because you haven't gone to Salty
This
Language.
one is like mesh.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah. It's the Yiz Yif men's sheer soft jockstrap leotard.
Oh, well, that sounds phenomenal.
I know, right? You should see the abs on this fella.
No, I shouldn't. I'm good. Yeah, and it was just weird. There were so many jokes on Twitter about him, and it's just, it's one of the things I love and I hate about Twitter is that when the internet latches onto something, there's a bajillion jokes about it, and it's one tiniest a very small fraction of them are funny. The rest are just hack or they're just garbage, and it's, unfortunately, it's you just see them over and over. And, and I've noticed lately on Twitter, one of the things kind of becoming popular is people posting a picture and then commenting on it, captioning it or whatever. So it's similar to a meme, but it's not a meme,
I'm looking at a romper right now because I had to click on it.
Sure.
It's not the sexy leotard.
Oh, okay.
It looked like a legit romper, so I was like, well, let me see what's going on with this.
Okay.
It's touted for having, and it fucking sucks. I just sent you a link, so I'm going to start making our links email now because I need to send this to you.
Yeah.
I'll just send it to our chat. One of their big things that are like, hey, here's what's cool about our product. It has a unique back zipper design.
Oh my. Okay.
And I'm looking at the pictures, and it's got a zipper up the back, like a lady's dress would.
Sure.
But it also looks like it has an ass zipper. like it's an upside down U shape, and I'm pretty sure it's so you can, drop trow and squeeze one out if you have to.
Well, I mean, that stuff's important,
I guess.
Yeah, definitely send the link because
Yeah, I'm trying to find more information, but there is none. But that is definitely what it looks like.
Oh my God. They in this article I just sent you, actually, they point out that they say that like some male wrestlers wear them, and it's like those are singlets, those are not rompers. There's a big difference in the two. Like, let's calm down with that. But one of them shows the video for Biggie's "Mo Money, Mo Problems" video, and but that's more like a onesie. That's not quite a romper. Like, I thought rompers were shorts, Like,
right.
I thought a onesie was one that went all the way to the to the ankles or whatever. So I don't know. I'm no fashion expert. I know you're shocked.
Wow. Yeah, I never want a romper in my life, not unless it comes with a race catheter.
So where this kind of started was there's a Kickstarter and this product is called the Romp Him. See, instead of Romper, Romp Him. Yeah. Anyway, they were looking for $10,000. They've hit $358,924 with 22 days to go.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
I see that. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their Kickstarter right now.
I gotta tell you, if you're one of the people who pledged to this, please throw yourself into like some sort of an animal thing at the zoo.
Yes. Get one of these rompers and proceed to throw yourself off a cliff.
Sure, that way you look fashionable while doing so.
Yes.
Terrible. Ugh.
What the bloody fuck?
Like, okay, why as a guy would you want to wear something like this? This looks like incredibly difficult to get in and out of. Fuck this. I don't know why women like them, let alone guys. I don't think they look good on women either, but whatever.
No, I've never been a fan, really.
Yeah. Did you look at that link I sent you, though? There's the picture of Sean Connery and his romper.
Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff, huh? No.
That's something.
Yeah.
That is definitely something.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's move on from this. Let's wrap this up, and then we can do our quick 13 reasons talk. So,
right.
All right. So, as usual, we're like, hey, go to thesaltylanguage.com and click all the links, check everything out, listen to the enthusiast. As we mentioned earlier, if you can, hit up the Patreon link. If you can't, if you can do the Amazon thing, that's cool too. Or if not, again, please, share, rate, review, subscribe, all those kind of things to help us out. We greatly appreciate that. And, I guess if you want to get a hold of us, all the links are on saltylanguage.com, but, we always run over a few of them here. Like, on Twitter, you can find us at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony and also salty_language on Snapchat.
Yeah, you can find me at Ninjitsu on Snapchat if you'd like. And then, on Instagram, we're Salty Language. On YouTube's, we're Salty Language Pod.
Right.
Whatever. Again, all the links are over on saltylanguage.com. If you'd like to send us a voicemail of some sort, you can do that too.
Of course, 415-857-2589.
Yeah. So that's an option too. Or, and again, if you answer the Q of the W question, God, I gotta quit doing that. It bugs the hell out of me every week when I do it. If you answer the Q of the W, cause you don't need to say question when the Q stands for question. It's like ATM machine.
Answer the question of the week question.
Yeah, it's like ATM machine,
Right.
Anyways, if you answer the question of the week on Twitter, make sure you use hashtag Q of the W or just respond to our post. That way we see them easier. Otherwise, we may miss them. Or, if you want to email those in, you can send them to saltylanguage@gmail.com. Or they're usually posted over on Facebook, especially now after I'm using technology to our advantage. So,
ooh, technology.
Yeah. So, that's... We forgetting anything else?
I don't believe so, Brian.
Feels like everything. If not, again, saltylanguage.com. And so I guess, again, if you want to listen to us talk about 13 Reasons Why, stick around after, this part here. If not, then I guess have a beer, you'll be fine. What?
Almost forgot one thing.
What's that?
Danger! Watch your back!
Oh my goodness.
Danger!
Entertainment Network, Tangent Bound Network, and we're on the list for Geek Life Radio. All right.
There we go. Stay salty.
And take care of your death appendages.
Yeah, somebody needs to.
All right, so for those of you who stuck around, here's us talking about 13 Reasons Why. So anyway, so you mentioned before that your main issue is, that you're an old man watching a teenager's show.
Yeah, and Lady Space Violence, she likes some of the, the more of the teen-oriented type movies and stuff sometimes. She just, her and our lives, we like to call stuff just popcorn. It's just kind of like meaningless fluff you can just consume.
Right, sure.
Well,
we all do. You and I, we dig terrible movies or action movies for the same reason, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my hang-ups with it is I'm watching it and I'm just like, this really isn't my jam.
No, like I mentioned to you, I identified with some of the stuff because it kind of brought back stuff I dealt with when I was in junior high and high school. So right. I think that helped me get past some of that. But you're right. There was some of that stuff that I was just like, this is dumb. But I was like, it's dumb because it's teenager time. Like, we were dumb then. Dumber.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely, it's not geared for a 13-year-old to watch. Because it's definitely a more mature show.
It's really funny, though, because I think they really geared it to be for teenagers and stuff to watch, Well,
I guess just the way it feels to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a lot more mature than a typical high school type drama or movie is. But you're probably right. It probably is completely geared.
I think the reason that it's tough because you're right. The stuff does feel like it's more for older consumption. But at the same time, if that kind of stuff is going on around that kid at school, it may not be, it could be a situation where a parent or somebody may not know that is going on around their kid at school. Cause, would you have told your mom if that kind of stuff was going on? I wouldn't have. And
well, shit. I mean, I've already determined through, just talking to people and to Jeannie and everything else. It's like, my family didn't talk about anything.
Yeah, right. But it's like, I wouldn't have talked to my parents about, I didn't. I was bullied and I never told my parents, I was, I was dealing with depression and I didn't know what it was. I just, wasn't happy and all that kind of stuff, but I never brought it up to my parents. I don't think I even told you about it. I think I totally pretty much kept it to myself. I don't think I told anybody really. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, I get some of that stuff, but, through it. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. It really does it feels like it feels more like something you look at and almost more like parents can watch it to go, wow, is my kid going through this? And maybe talk to their kid versus sitting down with your kid and watching it with them or something. But I've heard and read both going on.
Well, it's like, for instance, when we were watching it and Leah walked in, she's like, what are you guys watching? And we told her. She goes, oh, my friends say this is really good. Well, we finished it today and Jeannie was like, Leah, if you want to watch 13 Reasons Why, I'm fine with it. But when you're done watching it, I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's like, and here's the reasons why. Because there's sexual assault, there's suicide, there's,
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously I'm open to my kids watching it. It's just to have that communication.
Exactly. And that's why I was like, I kind of can see people doing that. And if that gets the dialogue going, great. Because there is a disconnect there for a lot of people and their kids. Like I said, I wouldn't have talked to my mom and dad about this kind of stuff. I knew someone who got raped when they were in high school, and I would have never said anything to my parents about it. Like I what I mean. It's like I know different stuff, like this. I don't think I knew anybody who killed themselves. Well, I did, but it wasn't somebody like in my class. It was younger than me that killed themselves. But it was, you know what I mean? It didn't affect me the way this would have kind of,
Right.
in the show. Yeah.
Well, I mean, all in all, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And there was definitely some moments where I was just kind of like, God, we get it. She's a bitch, you know?
Yeah, see,
but
one of my main issues I had with it was the way it starts out. It felt so like that the girl who killed, there's the stigma of that suicide is, it's nothing but selfish. And,
right.
And I get why people say that, but they don't understand. It's like, no, you don't understand. Generally, when people commit suicide, it's not because it's the first option or the easy thing. It's because they've tried other stuff, or they just feel completely like this is it. There's like, I'm in either so much pain, or I'm miserable, or for some reason I cannot continue to live. This is my option,
Right.
And if it is selfish, it's like, I get that, but you also have to understand that it's really hard to be in that position, because when you're, most of the time, like, suicide comes from, a mental illness situation or something else. And if it comes from that, it's like, you're in such a mindset that you feel like everybody else has abandoned you, or that they don't want anything to do with you, or you're a burden. There's a lot of things, like, you're not thinking logically when you get to this point most of the time. So, in the way the show first sets it up, it's like, I felt like the girl who committed suicide was being a real bitch about this.
Yes.
Like, how dare you do this? It's like, instead of just leaving a note of some sort, it's like, you leave these tapes that just point the fingers at everybody else. Like, it's all your fault that I'm dead. And it's like, no, it's not. They all were terrible to you, but it's not their fault you're dead.
Right, exactly.
Like, you still did this. It's no matter what. And even as the show goes on, like, you see moments to even where, like, she protected some of the stuff, and it's like, wow, you're no better than any of them,
Right.
So it's like I was telling Jeannie, like, her and I haven't talked about this, but we sent a couple of texts about it, and I was like, I have really mixed feelings about this, because I feel like they needed to get more into the mental illness part of it, and they didn't.
Right.
They didn't really talk about, other than she wrote that poem that was really dark. And that was pretty much it. And the teachers ignored it. That was their, like, talk about mental illness on the show, other than the girl who cuts herself. And even that, that was, he grabbed her arm and mentions it, and then poof, that's the end of it. And from then, she's just the dark, brooding character. It's like,
yeah.
I felt like it's like, as much as I give them credit for really going head on into, rape and the suicide part, it's like, I felt like they just totally left the mental illness part alone,
Right.
So I don't know. And also, could it have been more obvious that the rich kid was the villain? I mean, man, they beat you over the head with that from, like, minute one, almost, that he's the smarmy 80s villain,
His name is Bryce.
Yeah, exactly. You're not, it's funny you say that, because when they first introduced his, identified him by that name, I was like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I know all the kids did kind of bad stuff, but why would they cover for him? There's no way in hell I would have covered for somebody who raped somebody.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot of things maybe you kind of look the other way on. Not so much. And I just have this hard feeling that all those kids would have just looked the other way.
And like one of my big problems with the whole cheerleader that ran the stop sign over and was like, I'm not reporting that. It's like, well, what? Who gives a shit? You accidentally hit a stop sign.
Yeah.
You're not drunk. So,
yeah.
And, that kind of bothered me too.
Yeah.
And I know that they needed whatever.
Well, I will say this, like, that I kind of think fits the teenager drama part of it. Is that the kid would be over dramatic, thinking that their parent might not let them drive anymore or whatever, That was the only thing I could think of, because I was kind of with you. I'm like, you just hit a stop sign. Like, report it anonymously.
Yeah.
Just call and be like, hey, I was just at this intersection and there's a sign
the stop sign's knocked over.
Yeah. Just go to, like, well, you can't go to a payphone, but you know what I mean? Like, just call and report it anonymously or whatever. And I don't know.
And you know, my other part of that was, you know, I know they had to kill the one kid, his friend, the baseball player or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, he was a senior, so he's been driving for a couple years in a small town.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you'd be aware that there's a stop sign at that intersection.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just from me because I drive all the time, but I basically know where you're supposed to stop, where you're not supposed to stop.
Yeah, that was a total throw in for emotional sake, you know, like to pull at the heartstrings or whatever. There was a few things like that I was kind of like, okay, you know, like it's just filler for the story and it adds a little here, but I was like, yeah. So also, if this girl liked the guy who is our thread through the whole deal. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now.
Clay. His name's Clay.
Thank you. If she liked him so much, and again, spoilers if you haven't seen this, I can't imagine you listened this far in already, but when she finally gets to his tape and it was basically like, you're the best, you're the sweetest, why the fuck didn't you make that tape one?
Right.
Why would you make him suffer through all those other tapes if he was truly the good guy? Even though, if you really paid attention watching it, they kept showing moments to where he actually was ignoring shit happening to her and kind of being a dick.
Yes.
Where he was dismissing her at different points. So, which I know they were doing as red herrings. They did those so that we were gonna think that, really I thought his tape was gonna be him being told, you all these times could have stood up and helped me and you chose to just ignore it. That's really what I thought. But when she gets to that, you're not like the others. And I'd be like, if I was listening to that and I was him, I'd be like, fuck you. And I'd probably be done with the tapes.
Right, exactly.
You know, cause it's like, you fucked with my head for, God, how many tapes was it? 6?
Right.
I mean, it was a good, or not 6.
It was longer because he was towards the end of the tapes.
Yeah. Well, there was only, 7 tapes. There was the whatever side, but he was,
oh, that's what you're saying, right.
Episode wise, he was like, it was like 10 episodes in or something like that, or 11, something like that. And I was like,
it was 11, yeah.
I actually, like, watching it, I actually was like, fuck her at the end of that episode when she starts you're great and all. I was like, what a, you know, it just, again, it twisted me against her. And I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like her or not because they keep throwing me both ways. Like, I easily could go, what a, you know, twat. Or at the same time, I could go, listen, I understand because I understand what it's like to be bullied and go through certain, like, I haven't gone through all of what they put her through. But that was the other thing was like, seriously, could more things happen to one person?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, almost everything in that story, it's like thing after thing after thing. And I get it. It does happen that way to some people, especially the piling on of the sexual stuff. I totally can see it because I've seen that happen, you know?
Right.
So yeah. That's why I said, remember last week or week before when I was like, the show was picked up for a second season. And I'm like, I don't really think it needs a second season.
That's right there is my major hang up with this show.
Yep.
Is I wish we would take I said it when it ended. I'm like, why can't we take a cue from the fucking British? Because it should have been wrapped up and that's it.
Yeah.
Like they left you hanging at the end. You don't know what's happening still.
Right.
It's like, you assholes.
Right. But at the same,
or at least do one more episode if you couldn't wrap it, you know?
Well, that's
if
the
you
thing.
could wrap it up in 13 episodes, which I get 13 reasons.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense.
But like this one,
still,
it was so weird though, because it's like for the second season, it's like what they're going into. They're like, well, what's her name? Jessica or whatever her name is. The one girl who got raped.
Right.
They're like, she's just dealing with this. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, I was really for the sake of the TV show, I was okay with that being left ambiguously because her dad has that moment with her at the end. And
yeah,
you go,
exactly.
Okay, that's the beginning of her healing. She's got a ways to go. I get that. You know, Bryce has got to be dealt with. And it's like, well, they were going through all the things. All the kids started telling the truth. So, and the tapes were given to the parents. So it's like, the truth's going to come out there, you know?
Right.
But it's like, the only thing I can really see is now this whole next season is going to be the ramifications of the kids. And it's like, I just don't know I don't feel like that helps the story overall. I think that, you know, like.
It ended with, you know, the one kid shot himself in the head.
Yeah. Alex, yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So it's just going to be like, because they showed him in the dark room. He had the different pictures of people up. Is that going to be his 13 reasons?
Oh,
or,
no,
13 more reasons? Or
that was two different kids. The kid who had the pictures in the dark room was the creep the photographer. He's the one that was stockpiling weapons, which I'm not going to lie about that. I understand that's how those things can happen, but boy, that felt heavy-handed.
Yes. See, I thought that was a kid that shot himself in the head.
No, Alex did. The what's his name? The kid whose dad was a cop. The one who was like her friend at the coffee shop. Yeah, he's the one that shot himself.
Right.
Yeah. But that's the only thing I could think of would be they could use that and go into next season to where essentially he's the kind of overall story or something. But it's like, I don't really need a lot of these tied up. You gave us little nuggets to these. You could just leave them alone. Because in my head, the way it looked was, that kid's stockpiling a thing. Well, look at how he's been attacked by all these kids. I could see where he would hate a bunch of them, Right. The kid who killed himself, I could see how that could happen. I'm assuming the truth comes out about Bryce and he gets into a bunch of trouble. The other kids I don't really care about because they really were shitty parts of the story. Like that kind of thing. And Clay's story is really kind of done. I don't know how much more you really need to do with him going forward. It's like, I just feel like you don't need more of this show. Like, I don't feel like I need more of it.
No, I was just more disappointed that they didn't put everything in a nice neat bow at the end.
Yeah. That was the thing was like, I think like to me, they put it close to that and then they just let you kind of assume stuff, which I didn't have a problem with. And then I was like, when it got picked up for a second season, I was just like, why? Like, unless it was going to be like 6 episodes or 3 episodes, something short to where they're like, but I read the thing about it and they were like, we left all these endings out there and all. I was like, yeah, but the spirit of the show, I don't think it's helped by another season. I think then it just becomes another TV show.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Versus this season, which a lot of people have really given it praise. There's been a lot of, I know Jeannie mentioned to me she didn't like how they actually showed the girl commit suicide.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge hot button, part of the argument about whether the show is good or bad. Because a lot of people feel like that it kind of, glorifies it and such. Or it could be a trigger for some people or, those kind of things. And they do put a warning in front of the episode. I mean, I'll give them credit for that at least.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's weird because a lot of people were like really, they praised them for how they handled like the rapes in the show, but then also people were attacking them for showing the suicide. And I'll say this, I don't really feel like they had to show the suicide, even though everybody on board from what I've read, all the people on the show were like, we knew from the beginning we were showing it. But on the other side of it, it's like, I kind of like the fact that they showed that it's not, there's nothing to be glorified about suicide. Like it's not a pretty situation. It's horrible,
yes.
So I kind of liked that, but I get why a lot of people are bugged by it, and I'm mostly on that side. Like I was just like, I don't really know you needed to see it. They could have showed her, sitting in the bathtub and then her mom coming in and, finding her or whatever. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of other, I actually think I'll have to look to see. I had a link that had a bunch of things that people were kind of pro and con on the thing. If I find it, I'll put it in the show notes. Cause I thought there were some interesting points made and I think it was from the Mighty or something like that to where it was from people with, that have been through some of this stuff, so it's not just a random person, but one last thing from me anyway, if you got any more, that's cool too. There's a thing on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like that short documentary thing, which talks about how they made it and why they made some of the decisions they made.
Right.
Yeah. After you watch it, I can't remember. It's like half an hour or 45 minutes, something like that. It's probably worth watching because they have psychologists and stuff on there talking about why they think a certain thing was done well or not well. Or not, why it was done well or why it was necessary. I can't remember the name of it though. I think it's called like Beyond Reasons or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
Yeah. So if you're on Netflix, have a look at that too. So, but yeah, I'm sure there's more I could talk about. I just can't think of it,
Right.
I'm with you though. It's like overall I liked it. I like the fact that it can encourage dialogue with people because as I said on the regular show, I think it's important that people stop hiding a lot of this shit, especially the sexual assault stuff,
Definitely,
right. And suicide. It's something that needs to be talked about. Suicide's the number 2 killer of teenagers or death of teenagers. So it's clearly something that needs to be talked about,
Yeah, obviously, right.
Yeah. So if this show gets a dialogue going, I'm all for it. Even if it doesn't necessarily, I don't agree with necessarily all of its means to do it. At least it can start the dialogue. So.
And by this show, you mean salty language.
Yes.
The sexiest podcast on the network.
Of course.
Of course.
So yeah, you got anything else to add to it or?
Nah, that's pretty much it, man.
All right. Well, we've babbled long enough. So, hope you enjoyed this. We'll talk to you later.